So Elena, welcome to the show, and I see you're a fellow filmmaker, and you also have a web fest, a web film fest in the Baltimore area. Is that correct?
Yes, it's the Baltimore Next Media Web Festival.
Awesome, awesome. So another fellow D&D filmmaker and film professional. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do, what you've been up to.
Yeah, I've been working in the film industry for 30 years, 28 years. I've been a union member at IATSE, Local 47, since 1992. And I've done craft services for 28 years.
Okay.
And some wardrobe here and there as well, but crafty mostly. Worked in The Wire, all 5 seasons, House of Cards, all 6 seasons. And then I'm also a web series creator. I created one of the first web series ever online. It's called Jamie's Way. And it was we put it on live on January 1st, 1999. And it was a 4-episode show about a teenager. It's the first scripted web series online. And then in 2008, I created a project called Life After Lisa. And then Click on This, which Click on This has been on since 2009. And we have close to 600 episodes now online on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Click on This. That's your podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my creation. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the name of the web series? Jamie's List?
Oh, Jamie's Way.
Jamie's Way. Yeah, I remember, that's awesome. 1999.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that must have been kind of unique to jump into that. Ever since YouTube, blew up, do you remember E-Bomb's Way? No, I'm sorry. Do you remember E-Bomb's World? Or Break? You remember Break.com?
Yeah, I remember Break.com.
Yeah. So E-Bomb's World had a bunch of bizarre. When YouTube first blew up, YouTube was all like weird selfie videos or prank fails or car crashes or something. And E-Bomb's World was kind of the start of that with some prank videos. And then Break.com really focused on pranks and fails. And then of course YouTube just bought everything out. And I think E-Bombs and Break are now just channels on YouTube. But
yeah.
Web series in '99. That's.
Well, we wish that there was a MySpace or a Facebook or a YouTube back then, because back then we had nothing like that, and so we got our hits through pictures of Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
We were teen drama, so we made fan pages of all these teen idols, and then that's how we got our hits.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I tried to start, I tried to start a website of my favorite. It wasn't even my website. It was. I wish I could remember what website it was that I was using. It was before MySpace. It was where you could start a fan page of stuff, and I was trying to start, a fan page of all my favorite films and start discussions about it. And I think that lasted maybe a month. But now with the rise of technology, even nowadays during this quarantine, there's so much more communication, so much better technology, and I think we've surpassed quite a bit. And really, just look at Zoom,
Yeah.
Mixing Zoom with live streaming on YouTube.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Everything's virtual now. So yeah. How would you say you've been impacted, these last 6 months professionally? Let's say.
Well, professionally, my whole career kind of went away. My professional career, meaning my, my pay. So the film industry pretty much closed down. Mm-hmm. There are no more union jobs. My last commercial was on March 15th. It was a pharmacy commercial.
Sounds right to me. My last day on set was March 12th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, sorry. So I even felt kind of like a little unsafe working in March 15th. I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't have taken this job. I mean, it was fine. It was a cute job and everything. But I was like, after March 15th, no more work, until the pandemic. But Because of that, though, my creative world is really taken off. Like my show, Click on This, I'm doing lots of Zoom interviews. My web festival, we still have the same amount of submissions, and now we have chosen 133 selections. So our festival is still doing really, really well. And my Screenwriters Club went virtual. So now I've been meeting a lot more with my Screenwriters Club. We used to only meet once a month in person. And now we're meeting a couple times a month on Zoom. And we love it. The only thing, my screenwriting is there, but I have so many other little things that I've been doing that I'm still trying to also do my screenwriting as well.
No, I mean, I've been trying to take advantage of this time to read more and write more. And depending on the project, a lot of people have looked at some of my outlines and my treatments and they're like, what the hell are you using? And I'm more than half of the stuff that I've been writing actually using notes. A couple of the screenplays obviously I'm doing in either cell text or final draft, depending on if I'm working with somebody or not.
Yeah.
But I've been using notes, for like 85% of my stuff, and people are like, "Is this how it's done?" And I'm like, "It doesn't really matter how it's done right now. What matters is that it's being done." And so,
Exactly.
yeah. And like you said, it's all these virtual shows and connections, and it's more about content, I think, as opposed to quality or production, or it's not about the tools, but it's really about the content and the ideas, the sharing of ideas and story. And
Yeah.
if it's narrative, it can be done differently now, and as long as you've got intriguing characters and intriguing story, like you said, it's all being done a little differently now. And yeah, and so is the film fest. Have you taken the film fest virtual?
It's virtual, yeah. We are going to have panel discussions, keynotes, music performances, plays. So we have a screenwriters competition as well. So we're going to have actors read scripts over Zoom.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then we're going to have a Halloween party, a virtual Halloween party.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be fun. And we're doing a awards ceremony, but that's going to be pre-filmed. So that, yeah, I'm going to have filmed that, edited that all together, had my edited team working on that. And then I'll be playing that on Sunday night, which is November 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, we're going to have a live red carpet where the winners can come in and say their thank yous, because they have found out that night that they won.
They found out, but pre-recorded. So I guess to say some time before that, you would decide who's going to win.
Yeah. We're going to decide within the week before that who wins.
Yeah, I don't want to pull back the curtain too much, but with a production like that, have you already decided, and yet still live, you're going to still read all the screenplays?
Have we what?
So pre-recorded, you've already decided who wins what, but still live, you're going to read, still have a panel discussion of the screenplays and panel discussion of the films, even though you've already chosen.
Yeah, so because it's also about displaying and showcasing everybody's work.
Of course, yeah.
So we're going to have blocks where we're showcasing their work. So you're going to get to see 133 projects showcased within the week. And then Sunday night is usually the red carpet night. And in general, most festivals already know who the winners are anyway by Sunday, because they have to give the award to whomever, they have to prepare the award. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I'll know is because we have to pre-film, and I'm having a bunch of people as presenters, and they're going to come and surprise us. And so a bunch of people are going to be submitting footage to me saying the winner is blah, blah, blah. So that'll be pre-recorded, but everything else will be live. So our panel discussions will be live. And there's my dog. There he is.
Boy or girl?
Boy.
Okay.
So the panel discussions will be live. The performances and everything else will be live. Just the end of the thing that will be pre-recorded will be the awards show. But then the whole red carpet thing for when they find out that they have won, that'll be all live.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of figured, like say other award shows like Oscars or Golden Globes, I'm sure they've made their decision the night before,
Yeah.
or even a week before. And I think, somehow it leaked that, they filmed some of those red carpet, some of those behind the scenes thank yous where they want to do an extended speech, and they filmed that before they went on stage or something like
Mhm.
that. Or I don't know. I know each award show does something differently. But yeah, but that's awesome. But finding a workaround, it's still finding a workaround to pull it off virtually. I think it's amazing. It's just,
Yeah.
like we said, we're still finding ways to adapt and improvise and overcome.
Right. Definitely.
Still have a good time. I mean, all the way down to like the simplest of virtual happy hours, the Zoom happy hours that people have. So.
Yeah. I've gone to a couple of Zoom happy hours.
Yeah, I've done a couple myself, and of course, I figured, with some of my colleagues that I'm close friends with also, I figured we'd do both. We'd have a Zoom happy hour and make it, like a special episode of the podcast. It's more of like an adult, we get a little rowdy maybe sometimes, but
Yeah.
we might as well try to get some viewership out of it as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's all about the viewership.
Kill two birds with one stone. Yeah.
Right. I had an amazing experience this summer. I discovered TikTok.
Okay. Yep. I think everybody did, but okay.
Yeah. So I put my show on TikTok, but then I also put myself on TikTok. And then my friend Damien, who's one of my friends who also is a union brother, and he does craft services with me. He actually is a dancer, and he now has 95,000 followers. At the time, he had 75,000 followers just from his dancing. Now, I had like 3,000 or 2,000 followers, but he had 75,000 followers. So we did a TikTok together where I was the lady eating chips on the porch in Charles Village in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And he passes by, and it's a song where the sound of the chips turns into music. So as he passes by, he starts to dance, and then I see him dancing, and then I'm eating my chips, and he's dancing, and I'm eating my chips, and it was really funny. Well, that has now 2.6 million hits on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just finding these small little things. Yeah, absolutely. It's finding just small little things to pull off, and just a simple idea, maybe a little bit more complicated idea, but just throwing stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
People love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, me and the wife, when she was pregnant, we decided to buy a house, and I jumped on TikTok because at that time, I think it was like October or November of 2019, and a lot of people were doing like these do-it-yourself stuff, and somehow I just started following all these different do-it-yourself things, like how to patch drywall, holes in drywall, how to paint something different than, a lot of people think it's just easy to paint stuff, but then if you're trying to paint a door, you don't want the door to stick to the hinges or stick to the borders or something like that. So there's all these different ways of all these cool ideas of how to hang something perfectly, and you can use painter's tape to hang it perfectly, and then from there do this, that, and the other thing. So I was using TikTok for that. My brother was giving me a hard, teasing me about it. Oh, you're just a bunch of kids on there dancing. I'm like, no, man, look, there's all this do-it-yourself stuff. The wife was making fun of me. And about April or May, into the quarantine, the wife was addicted to TikTok. I don't even watch TikTok that much anymore. And she's on it all the time. Oh, look at this TikTok. Look at this TikTok. Here we go.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's like mini YouTube, essentially.
Yeah. Well, you remember Vine? I think about 5 years ago, there was Vine. I think TikTok's the new Vine now.
I love Vine, yeah.
Yeah, Vine was fun. Vine was definitely a trip. But speaking of social media and even streaming, is there what have you been? Well, actually, before we cut into that, you mentioned offline that you had adopted a dog.
I had a what?
Did you adopt a dog during quarantine?
Yes.
Yeah. So what brought you about that?
Well, I have 3 cats, so I live right next to my parents, and we in the past I've had 2 big dogs, and my parents have had 2 big dogs, and they have 4 cats, and little by little all our dogs became older and passed away for various reasons, and then all of a sudden we had just Dagmar last year, and then she passed away around October, September. She was 15 years old. And so since that time, we haven't had a dog between the 2 houses. And I missed having a dog. And my mom wanted to adopt a dog really badly. So my friend Desi, one of my hosts on my show, Click on This, she had a friend who had a friend in Tennessee who needed to find a home for her dog. Yeah. And I took one look at him and I fell in love and I was like, I'll take him. So Desi drove to Tennessee, picked him up, and brought him back to me.
Yeah, that'll do it. Just one look, and that'll do it.
Yeah. So he's right at my feet now, sleeping. Mm-hmm. I'm glad he's like quiet for the interview.
That's all right. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I think right now we're viewers and podcasts are way more accepting now. That there was that. I don't know if you remember that one interview someone was doing with the BBC, and there was a British broadcaster in China or Thailand, I think. And he was Skyping in for an interview. And his kids just burst into the room, and he's like trying to push them out. His wife runs in, and now that's accepted. It's almost like, of course that's going to happen. We're all working from home, and yeah, it makes things more fun and exciting, I think, and right. personal too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he can play over on the bed there. That's all his toys.
Yeah.
But he's sleeping now.
Mm-hmm. Well, so back to streaming and social media. Has there been anything you've been binge watching, or books you've been binge reading to pass the time, to just escape, or sharpen skills or anything like that?
I haven't watched as much as I should. Well, actually, I take that back. I've been watching 133 projects.
Wow.
for my web series. Yeah. So I have lots and lots of web series and short films, incredible short films I've been watching. We have 133 projects from 22 different countries. Mm-hmm. So I've been watching all of those. As far as Netflix, and I've been watching Ozark.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I haven't started season 3 yet. Of course, I plan to. It's on my list.
Yeah, so. I started that from season 1, so mm-hmm. I'm still in season 1. I haven't been watching enough television. I've been watching a lot of CNN,
wow.
But yeah, in the news, I'm trying to not watch that. As far as other television shows, not recently, no. Just because of the whole, I have to have everything put into nominations, and I have to have my judges also be watching. So I have like 25 judges and jury mm-hmm. members, and I have to constantly push them, to be watching as well. But things have to be brought into a nominations list by September 20th is when I'm trying to get that out. So they've been keeping me busy, but they've been an incredible web series.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic that at least for you, it's like, you're probably watching some great stuff. Some inspiring stuff and funny stuff, but it's also work, and it's also building. It's also work, and it's something that you're able to enjoy, and you're still building and continuing to build and refine the film festival and bringing new filmmakers to light and all that stuff. So it's outstanding.
Like here in Baltimore, we have Thespian.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
They're in our festival.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's this comedy called The Bumble Bums. They're in our festival too, and the actress, her name is Amy LaJoy. We just interviewed her. My host Lauren Francesca. She's also a YouTuber. She was from Key of Awesome. She just interviewed Amy, and Amy is well known as a TikToker for the whole Film Crew series. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, well, I think she did like a short video where she's walking out of her room as every single
Yeah.
every single different member of every different department. It was fantastic. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So she did that. Yeah. She also has her own web series called The Bumble Bums.
Okay.
That's online. And yeah, we just interviewed her this week. So that's also online as well. So.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, it's just great to be able to see new things coming out still. And even though it's, even though it's like telework and it's all virtual, it's like great content, and and it's work from all over the world. You said 22 different countries. You said.
So we have another show in our festival. They're friends of ours, and the show's called Canceled, and it's by Luke Eve and Maria, and they were actually in Spain to get married, and then the pandemic happened, and so they're in Spain with Luke's mom and Maria, his fiance, and they had to cancel the wedding. Yeah. So they created a whole entire web series over that, and it's incredible. It's hysterical. But both of them were also award-winning web series creators as well from the past. They both had successful web series in the past as well.
Well, Canceled, I don't know if maybe I saw that through your links or something else, and it sounds familiar, but that's just another way that, filmmakers and even just people in general are taking a negative and making a positive out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And everything was filmed on a phone.
Yeah.
In an apartment. I mean, it's amazing.
And again, it's just like, Soderbergh did a film on an iPhone, and I think it was the director of Parasite. I think he had done a film in Korea on an iPhone. And it just shows, again, it's not what you have, but it's what you do with what you have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's your content.
Yeah. It's not what you're working with, but what you do with it.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, that's it.
Right.
And it works. I mean, I've got 2 web series out, and I'm prepping for the 3rd seasons of them. And there's very little cast. There's almost no crew. I think the crew is just me and another guy, and at the most me and another guy. And the cast is me and 2 other guys, and then this voiceover artist. And it's like, we figured out a way to pull off different shows and talk about the stuff that we like. We're in a realm of big budget stuff, but we figured out a way to do something kind of like a side project that could work for them, but we did it. I think. And they love doing it, and we're colleagues, so we work on a whole plethora of different projects. But they love to just come over. We all pay each other with beer and Grubhub, and shoot some stuff, and it turns out pretty well, I think.
Well, that's great. To check it out. Yeah.
There's a green screen behind this whole decor.
Yeah.
And I figured out, I just figured, okay, I can make 3 different curtains, and I can slide this over and pull out a green screen, slide the green screen away, put out a white sheet or something else, and then pull this back out for the podcast. It's just, trying to find these different hacks to make one room 16 different setups.
Right. Yeah, I had to start thinking about that myself with this background because of the festival and stuff. But I have an office, and it has all my big step and repeats from the past. So I'll probably be doing most of my producing there for the festival.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's all decored out with all the previous works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, what would you say is next on the agenda for ELENA MOSCATT?
Well, I'm writing a screenplay. It's called The 50-Year Secret, and it's based off of a book by Julie McNeil, and it's about alpha-1, which is a liver-lung disease, and it's a true story. I met Julie at Sundance. We rented a room from her, actually in 2017, and she told us her life story, and we told her, you should write a book. And then she goes and she writes this book. And 2 years later, she contacts me and wants me to write the screenplay. And so the screenplay is more than half finished. And we had a reading for it, actually, on Zoom. And it sounded so good. We were really so thrilled about it. So that's going to be the next project. We're going to be casting that and hopefully filming it once things become safe. We'll be filming in spring. And so that's one of the projects. The 50-Year Secret, it's an award-winning book that you can go 50yearsecret.com.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And you got the film festival coming up. And personally, what challenges have you found? Personally, family, friends.
Challenges? The biggest challenge this summer for me has been not getting my unemployment and spending the summer without money, truthfully. But I just got my unemployment today. Yeah, because I
finally.
Yeah, finally, with all summer long, and it comes in one lump sum. But I contacted my representatives, and so that really helped.
Maryland. All right, this was so there was, I think, 3 months that I had to file, and then I've said this before a bunch of times on the show that I'm blessed in that I was able to get a bunch of telework, live streaming work, some industrial corporate stuff. And so and the wife, she teaches, and so she's doing Zoom teaching. But there was like a couple of weeks that I filed, and I didn't make too much of a big deal about it because then I got paid telework. But it's eventually for those 3 weeks I got those checks. But I'm thinking to myself, listen, Netflix, it's just an entertainment show, it's just an entertainment site. I think Netflix crashed once during the pandemic. And you've got billions of people on this site, and it never crashes. You probably have 1 million people watching The Office nonstop.
Right.
Netflix didn't even bother to list The Office as #1 on Netflix because there's no point. It's like surpassed #1 on Netflix, so they're gonna throw rankings to new stuff that they're bringing out. But if Netflix can last, how many people do you think are getting on unemployment just in Maryland? And that site had to get rebuilt, I think 3 or 4 different times during the pandemic.
They're hiring the wrong people.
And this is government. This is a government site.
Yeah.
For real life, real life health financial assistance, and it crashed. I don't know how many times. And it wasn't the end of the world for me because again, I whether it's luck, whether it's I'm blessed or what have you. Things came through for me, but. There were people. I've had other guests on this site saying, "This sucks.
Yeah,
I'm not getting it." And like you just said, it's September now, and you finally got something.
Yeah, yeah. I wrote to the governor, and I wrote to 3 representatives, and finally, the representatives I think are what really helped me. Maybe the governor did. Thank you all to all of them, but it took a lot of writing and. You'd call and kept getting disconnected or just not reaching anybody.
I tried calling once because the wife was kind of insistent. Like we if the help is out there, and you qualify the help, get the help. I said okay, because for me there was always like this. Oh man, I'm unemployment. How does that look? But she said no. Listen, the assistance is out there for you, so take it. But I would call them a couple of times, and I don't remember hearing that deadline sound for decades. Like a busy signal. I think it was either a busy signal or when the line goes dead, you get that tone, that sound on the line. Like when was the last time I heard that? What the hell's going on with Maryland? What the heck was that website called? But the Maryland.gov. Like, what the hell was going on with Maryland.gov?
I don't know.
Like it was baffling to hear that sound on a phone.
Yeah.
I didn't like that was crazy. So yeah, it was a bit stressful, and you're not. I can assure you're not the only one going through it. It's a lot of people telling me about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of used my platform a little bit and did some tweets and stuff like that, like kind of urging them. But yeah, it was crazy to not have money. But I'm thankful that I have my parents, so they really helped me out this summer.
Yeah, and yeah, me and the wife were blessed. My parents and her parents helped us out a little bit, and then everything just started kind of like falling back in place for us. As far as telework goes, and Zoom, virtual work, Zoom work, all that stuff. So
Yeah,
we're definitely blessed. But from there, what's your view? What's your view of the new normal?
of the new normal. More. Well, obviously, I miss the whole in-person world. I mean, with Click on This, we really have always enjoyed red carpets. We did a lot of covering of the red carpets. So I really miss all that, miss festivals and music. So obviously, I hope the new normal will go back to that. But I think at the same time, incorporate more of the virtual world as well. Now we can do more Zoom interviews and interviews like this, where you could be anywhere and you can be talking to people from everywhere. So I really like that. So I want to do more of that and keep that. And I think just people being a little bit more safe and a little bit more cautious, but at the same time, I still like the human interactions. So we have to still keep our human interactions, obviously.
Absolutely. I mean, I miss set life.
Yeah.
I think my last acting gig was maybe March 10th. My last, on location live streaming gig was on the 12th. And, I kind of foresaw things shutting down, and maybe not so long. And I certainly didn't foresee this whole pandemic being as gargantuous as it was. But, my last acting gig, the director was like, "Hey man, just give us everything." And as far as my acting career goes, it's mostly been detective roles, cop, detective, law enforcement, military. So he just said, just give it to him. And it was just like, I just miss being in someone's face. Like, tell me what you did. I know you were there. Who was there with you? I know you have the gun hidden somewhere. Whatever those lines are. We have your fingerprints, we have your DNA, just confess, that kind of scene, And so he just said, just kick it in overdrive, and I did. And who knows when it's going to get aired and completed, because I know that episode was somewhere in the middle of the season, so maybe they had to postpone things, and they're going to eventually, hopefully, pick up the season later. But it was just, as far as March 12th goes, now the rough part about March 12th was, it was a live streaming gig at a conference. Actually, I think it was a conference with an award show. It's funny. It was an award show for some executives or whatever. And we're halfway through setting up, and they pull the plug. And so as we're striking, the wife is freaking out. And I brought this up a bunch on the show before, that it felt like episode 1 of The Walking Dead.
Oh wow.
Day 1 of The Walking Dead, where everyone's freaking out. The wife is like, you got to go get toilet paper. You got to go to all 7 different places that we always go. You got to go to Harris Teeter and Trader Joe's and the Giant up the hill and Giant at the bottom of the hill and CVS. And you got to get just one big thing of toilet paper from all these places. She was freaking out. And plus, we had a newborn, and so she's like, and you got to go get formula. Every place you go for toilet paper, get formula, and get a whole bunch of. What she was foreseeing, what I foresaw was like dried goods, like granola bars and Clif bars, and dried fruit, and that sort of thing. And it really felt like we were, survival. What is that? Survivor prepping. And you froze a little bit. You still with me? Oh, maybe I lost you. All right, let's stand by for a second. Try to go back on. Oh, you still there? Hello? You're free. You're freezing up a little bit. You're very good. And we're back. So awesome. Hey, no worries. That's how it goes in the whole virtual world. So it's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good. Well, what was I saying? Like
So
the
you're
walk.
talking about Walking Dead.
It was like day one of
Oh,
the walk. It was like day one of the Walking Dead. So it was run around, get Cliff Bars, get dried goods, dried fruit, granola bars, Cliff Bars, and we start. And it's funny because I want to say like a year ago, I bought these gargantuous tower of hand sanitizer, these huge towers of it with a little dispenser thing on the top. And I think I got 3 of them. And back then, maybe I think I got these a year ago or 6. I think I got them 6 months before the pandemic, or maybe in a year, and they never ran out. And
wow.
I think when I first bought them, she goes, "You always buy the biggest, bulkiest stuff. Like, can't you just get something small?" And then, hey, a month into that pandemic, it still was this full. She's like, "Thank God you bought that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, because when I buy stuff to last. I buy in bulk. I buy store brand stuff in bulk to last. And I think we're only still, it's September. I think these things are like a year and a half old. And they're still only halfway down. And,
Wow. That's great.
it's
Yeah.
a lifetime supply of hand sanitizer.
Right.
And once that price goes down, I'm gonna buy 2 more huge towers of it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. With craft services, that kind of helps me because
Yeah.
I with Crafty we have so many leftovers. We've had bottles of hand sanitizer, cases of water, snacks. And so I've been able to have my snack supply, my drink supply, hand sanitizers.
I'm starting to lose you a little bit again. All the snacks, all the hand sanitizer. Hello, hello. I think I lost you again.
Should I move away from the computer?
It's up to you, wherever you want to go. Right there's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a rough patch on that first day of the Walking Dead pandemic, but yeah. Yeah, the new normal. I mean, it's. I think we're going to be coming out with a lot of new, slick ways of pulling off productions and sharing ideas and that sort of thing.
Sorry. Trying to think the best spot.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Okay. This is picking up both of mine. So should I not be sitting right by my computer?
Oh no, it's fine. Oh no, yeah,
Okay.
it looks and sounds just fine.
Okay, maybe I'll just do it this way.
Okay.
That will work. That way, it'll get me. I can look the same direction and stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So as we were saying.
Yeah. So yeah, like it was a rough day on March 12th. Kind of Walking Dead style and that sort of thing. So it was definitely a learning lesson. Not to take anything for granted, but yeah, I think now your phone's freezing. All right, and we're back. But yeah, no sweat. So is there any last point or any last bit of advice you want to put out to our viewers?
Advice would be to take the time and be with your family and friends and family, and to be as creative as you possibly can, and to really dig deep and figure out the things you really want to do during this time, and what you want your new normal to be like.
Yeah.
So this is a time to really spend kind of thinking from within. I think that's what, yeah.
Yeah.
And even learn new stuff, meditations, how to play the guitar, something new,
Yeah. And yeah, for me, I have taken a lot of time to, self-reflect and to kind of think about, the last, 5 years of my life, 10 years of my life, try to put together, an agenda for myself, as well, a set of goals. I got a baby boy, and me and my wife have a number of plans and ideas that we want for. Obviously, we have a whole agenda, as a family, and for me, it's kind of trying to pinpoint what I'm going to focus on career-wise as an actor or a filmmaker. Expand the podcast, or how what directions I'm going to stay in, or what new directions I might take with social media and the channel. So yeah, totally. Any last socials, links, plugs you want to put out there?
Well, our festival is October 28th through November 1st. And by early October, we'll have the whole schedule on who our panels will be, what our panels are going to be, who our panelists are going to be. I know Trey Chaney from The Wire is going to be one of our speakers. Lauren Francesca will be with us, one of our hosts. Johnny Alonso, Al Soto, Desi Velez. But we'll have a whole bunch of other people to talk about. So that'll be I'll know by early October, and I'll be promoting it in October. And then, of course, obviously, our show Click on This is at clickonthis.tv, and Click on This show on all social media handles. It's at Click on This show. Just look for the 50-Year Secret next year at some point. And I have another web series called Crafty Lane that I'll talk about later on. I'll talk about Crafty Lane we should be filming that in the spring as well. It's a comedy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here. All of Elena's links are in the description below, and to my audience, I certainly hope I've earned the privilege of your time and viewership. I know my guest has. And until then, you know what to do. Check us out next time. And thanks again, Elena, for coming on the show. I can't thank you enough for all the ideas and the stories, and the inspiration to just keep it going.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. Well, again, to my audience, you know what to do. Check us out next time, and thanks again.